Have you ever shared a notebook with a friend for a science project? You write your notes, they write theirs, and you pass it back and forth. Now imagine a notebook that isn't just shared between two people, but with a whole group of people at the same time. This is the big idea behind blockchain. It's like a special digital notebook that everyone in a group gets a copy of. Instead of one single book that can get lost or damaged, everyone has an identical version. This isn't just any notebook. It's a super strong, super trustworthy record book that lives on many computers all at once. It's science, and it's changing how we think about sharing information securely. In this special notebook, we don't just call the pages pages, we call them blocks. Think of each block as a new page where we can write down important information. This could be anything. It could be a record of who sent money to whom, or who owns a particular piece of art, or even where a head of lettuce came from. Once a page or a block is completely filled with information, it gets added to the notebook. But here's the cool part. Each new page is magically and permanently linked to the page before it. This creates a chain of blocks, which is where we get the name blockchain. It's an ever-growing chain of information, all connected together in a specific, unbreakable order. So how does this linking work? Each block is given a unique code, like a fingerprint, called a hash. When a new block is created, it gets its own new hash, but it also contains the hash of the block that came right before it. This is what creates the strong, unbreakable chain. It's like each page of the notebook has a secret password on it that is also written on the next page. This means you can't just sneak a new page into the middle of the notebook, and you can't tear an old page out without breaking the entire chain. The order is locked in, creating a permanent history that everyone can see and verify for themselves. The most incredible part of this digital notebook is that when a new page or block is ready to be added, it's sent out to everyone in the network. Every single person with a copy of the notebook gets to check the new page to make sure it's correct and follows the rules. It's like a group of scientists all peer-reviewing a new discovery before it becomes accepted fact. Only when the majority of the group agrees that the new block is valid does it get added to everyone's chain. This group effort ensures that the information is accurate and that the notebook remains a reliable source of truth for every single person involved. Now let's consider this. What if someone tries to cheat? What if one person wants to go back and secretly change something on an old page in their copy of the notebook? Maybe they want to erase a record that says they borrowed money. With a normal notebook, they could just use an eraser. But with a blockchain, it's nearly impossible. Remember how each block is linked to the one before it with a special code or hash? If you change even a single piece of information in an old block, its hash will completely change. It's like changing a single ingredient in a cake recipe. The final cake will be totally different. When that block's hash changes, the link to the next block breaks because the next block is still holding the old hash. This creates a ripple effect, breaking the chain from that point forward. Instantly, that person's copy of the notebook becomes different from everyone else's. The rest of the group, whose notebooks are all still identical and correct, would immediately see the discrepancy. They would look at the altered copy and say, "Hey, your notebook doesn't match ours. It's not valid." The cheater's version would be rejected by the network, preserving the integrity of the true record. It's the power of teamwork and verification on a massive scale. This system of everyone checking the work is what makes the blockchain so trustworthy. You don't need a central person or authority like a teacher or a bank to watch over the notebook and make sure no one is cheating. The group does the job all by itself. This is called a decentralized system. Decentralized just means there's no single person in charge. The trust isn't placed in one institution, it's distributed across the entire network of users. This removes the need for a middleman, which can make things faster, cheaper, and more transparent for everyone involved. It's a community-powered system of trust. Let's think about a real-life example. Imagine you and your friends have a system for borrowing things. The old way is to use a central ledger, maybe a notepad that one friend, let's call her Sally, keeps. If you borrow $5 from Tom, you both have to tell Sally to write it down. You have to trust Sally to get it right and not lose the notepad. In the blockchain way, when you borrow $5 from Tom, you announce it to all your friends. Everyone writes it down in their own identical notebooks. There's no single Sally to rely on. The record is public to your group, and everyone's copy confirms the transaction, making it incredibly difficult for anyone to later claim it never happened. So, what makes this blockchain notebook so special? It comes down to a few key properties that are a big deal in our digital world. First, it's incredibly secure. As we've seen, changing any part of the record is super difficult because you'd have to alter a block, and every single block that comes after it, all across thousands of computers, faster than the network can add new ones. This cryptographic linking makes the history of transactions tamper-resistant. It's like trying to change the past. Once it's written and verified by the group, it's essentially set in stone. This security is fundamental to its power. Second, the blockchain is transparent. While the identities of the users can be kept private, often represented by a string of characters instead of a name, the transactions themselves are often visible to everyone in the network. Everyone can look inside the notebook and see the list of transactions that have occurred. This doesn't mean your personal secrets are all out there. It just means the actions on the network are open for audit. This transparency builds trust. When everyone can see the rules are being followed, it's much harder for bad actors to get away with dishonest behavior. It's like playing a game where all the cards are face up. Third, the system is reliable and always available. Since the notebook, or ledger, is stored on many different computers all over the world, there is no single point of failure. If one computer on the network crashes or gets hacked, it doesn't matter. The thousands of other copies of the ledger are still safe and sound, and the network keeps running without a hiccup. This is a huge advantage over a centralized system, where if the main server goes down, the entire service stops working. A decentralized network is resilient, like a spider web that stays strong even if a few strands are broken. Finally, blockchain can be wonderfully efficient. By removing the need for middlemen in many processes, transactions can become much faster and cheaper. Think about sending money to another country. Traditionally, this involves several banks, each taking time and a fee to process the transaction. With a blockchain-based system, the transfer can be done more directly between the two parties, verified by the network, and completed in minutes instead of days. This efficiency isn't just about money. It can streamline all sorts of processes that require verification, from tracking goods to validating contracts, saving time and resources for everyone. This might all sound like a cool science experiment, but blockchain technology is already being used in the real world in some amazing ways. The most famous example is, of course, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin and Ethereum are digital forms of money that are built on blockchain technology. When you send a Bitcoin to someone, there's no bank involved. The transaction is recorded as a new entry in the Bitcoin blockchain, a massive public notebook that is maintained and secured by a global network of computers. It's a new way of thinking about money, ownership, and value, all powered by these shared ledger principles. But it's not just about money. Consider our global supply chains. Have you ever wondered where your food or clothes really came from? Blockchain can create a transparent and unchangeable record of a product's journey, from the farm to the factory to the store shelf. Each step, harvesting, shipping, processing, can be recorded as a block on the chain. This means a company can prove that its coffee beans are truly organic or that its diamonds are ethically sourced. For consumers, it provides a new level of trust and certainty about the products they buy. You could scan a code on a bag of lettuce and see its entire journey. Another powerful application is in healthcare. Your medical records are some of your most private and important information. Right now, they are often scattered across different doctors' offices and hospitals, making it hard to get a complete picture of your health history. A blockchain could be used to create a secure, unified record that you, the patient, control. You could grant temporary access to a new doctor or a specialist, ensuring they have the accurate information they need while keeping your data secure and private. The blockchain would keep a tamper-proof log of who accessed your records and when, putting you in charge of your own health data. From finance to food to healthcare, the core idea remains the same. Blockchain is a powerful tool for creating a shared source of truth that is secure, transparent, and hard to cheat. It's a system where we can trust the record itself, without necessarily having to trust any single person or company in charge of it. By using a shared notebook that everyone watches over, we can build more trustworthy and efficient systems for the future. It's a simple concept with some seriously complex and cool science behind it, and it's changing our world one block at a time. Consider the possibilities.